Welcome to the Game Code. I'm your host, Adam Morehouse, and we are your source of entertainment, gaming, all sorts of awesome news here in Atlantic Canada. Let's see what we've got for you this week. We visit Dartmouth, Nova Scotia for the Dart Gallery's NEStalgia exhibit. We chat with Jane and check out some great retro pieces. On the last episode, Ian reviewed Skylanders Swap Force, but this time on Gaming Gear, he takes a look at its competitor, Disney Infinity. Andrew Dorfman, aka Pig Monkey of Geeks vs. Nerds, joins us in studio. We talk about their comedy show and how to resolve never-ending debates between our favorite TV heroes. The Dart Gallery featured a nostalgic video game exhibit that featured some of Dartmouth's awesome talent. It had a couple of really great Nintendo pieces, so let's check it out.
The opening night of NEStalgia, which is a vintage video game themed exhibit. It is sort of the brainchild of three local artists and designers, Eric Miller of Dartmouth Clothing, and James White of Signal Noise Studios, and Dave Howlett. And yeah, we've been working on this for a couple of months and I think we have over 30 different local artists that participated. Well, I'm really interested in pop art and presenting art that's very accessible. I think art has a bit of a perception of being elitist, and that's not something I'm too interested in. So it's sort of a combination of wanting to present sort of pop art type shows and working together with Dave and Eric and James White to put it on. So it was, I won't take full credit, it was more them than me. So yeah.
Inspired me to bring art and gaming together is in the last kind of 6 months I've been teaming up with Dave Howlett from Strange Adventures and James White from Signal Noise. We wanted to put together some pop culture art shows, and when we first started talking about doing pop culture shows, we thought it would be great to do a video game inspired show, since so many people nowadays just love video games, and it's more acceptable to kind of get a piece of art and put it up on your wall that's video game inspired. This show has definitely been way more successful than we would have ever thought. We had a huge Facebook following for it, which is awesome, and we really want to try and promote just local artists, and I'm a big supporter of Dartmouth with Dartmouth Clothing Company, and we really want to support a local kind of Dartmouth gallery, and video game art just seemed to be kind of a perfect mix for a pop culture show to do in Dartmouth.
We have quite a number of pieces on display tonight. Great question, and it's funny that I don't have an exact number. Most artists have contributed one piece, some have contributed a couple. So I would say in total we're maybe around 40-ish, 40 to 50 I think. So yeah, but we also have a number of smaller items too, things that maybe aren't traditionally art, but maybe a bit more crafty too, things in that realm. So there's a wide variety. I've seen a lot of interest from both artists and buyers about this show specifically, and about ones that may come up that might be like it in the future. I actually sort of when after the submission deadline passed and word got out about this show, I received a number of emails from artists wanting to participate, even last minute. Diplomatically, I think all the pieces are wonderful. I think there are some real standouts and some really interesting, especially that centerpiece over there, which is a duck hunt quilt, which I think is really cool. And something that I think is kind of unique about this show too is I think video games, it's sort of seen as kind of a male-dominated field, and fair enough. But there's also an interesting kind of feminine presence with some of the pieces that are presented, like quilt and cross-stitch, not necessarily created by females. But I really like the variety of this show. It's nice to have things from prints to posters to sort of more traditional paintings to the sculptures. I think it's a really interesting mix. I guess I kind of like the overall mix more so than any particular piece. But there's some interesting ones. There's a cool skateboard. There's an awesome Excite Bike quilt. That one's cool too. I like the Mario and Duck Hunt ones.
The title of my piece isn't overly imaginative. I just call it like Super Mario Brothers. I just wanted to keep it kind of simple. I tried to come up with some other names for it, but kind of ran out of time. My piece is it's a 4-color screen print. I've been trying to do more screen printed work lately, so I want to do something screen printed, and I really wanted to try and encapsulate everything with Mario, so I couldn't really decide on one single image, so I decided let's do as much as I could cram kind of into a 18 by 24 poster. People can find out more about my work by going to dartmouthclothing.ca. Or they can find us on Facebook, follow me on Twitter, on Instagram. I try and be on there as regular as possible.
I try and rotate exhibits fairly regularly, so about every 2 to 3 weeks there's a new show. Actually, something I'm really interested in doing too is working with different community groups to present events or shows. And actually next month I'm working with the Dal Medical School. They have a humanities group, so like a group of students that are also artists. So we're kind of bringing together art and medicine. We'll have some of the gallery's regular artists and some students, and hopefully have a nice event. So yeah, best way is to go to our Facebook page. It's just the Dart Gallery, D-A-R-T. And we post everything from calls to artists for upcoming shows to upcoming events. And that's probably the most current way. We're always updating that.
Don't go anywhere. Coming up after the break, Ian is going to hit us up with some gaming gear.